top-selling books, is 2021. It ends with us, who love you who hurts you the most. Lily hasn't always had it easy, but that's never stopped her from working hard for the life she wants. She's come a long way from the small town in Maine where she grew up. She graduated from college, moved to Boston, and started her own business. So when she feels a spark with a gorgeous neurosurgeon named Ryle Kincaid, everything in Lily's life suddenly seems almost too good to be true. Ryle is assertive, stubborn, maybe even a little arrogant. He's also sensitive, brilliant, and has a total soft spot for Lily. And the way he looks in scrubs certainly doesn't hurt. Lily can't get him out of her head. But Ryle's complete aversion to relationships is disturbing. Even as Lily finds herself becoming the exception to his no-dating rule, she can't help but wonder what made him that way in the first place. As questions about her new relationship overwhelm her, so do thoughts of Atlas Corrigan, her first love and a link to the past she left behind. He was her kindred spirit, her protector. When Atlas suddenly reappears, everything Lily has built with Ryle is threatened.
The Noise, a novel. Terror has a new sound, and it comes from the darkest corners of James Patterson's imagination. A gigantic explosion rips through a town in the shadow of Oregon's Mount Hood. The community is almost annihilated. The only survivors are young sisters Sophie and Tennant Riggin. How they lived is a mystery. But it's a mystery that a team of elite government investigators is bent on solving. Sent to research the fallout in the girls, why did only they survive? They secretly hold conflicting objectives. For Dr. Martha Chan, a psychologist who analyzes large-scale medical emergencies, study them. For Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Fraser, a career military leader with an inherent mistrust of civilians, contain them. But as the phenomenon threatens to ripple across the Pacific Northwest, it also threatens to topple the chain of command. Dr. Chan and Lieutenant Colonel Fraser are caught between the perpetrators of the threat, and those who have the power to survive it. Complications by Danielle and tragedy erupt against the backdrop of an exclusive Paris hotel in Danielle Steele's riveting novel. Known for its luxurious accommodations and bespoke service, the Hotel Louis XVI has been the most lauded boutique hotel in all of Paris for decades, attracting an international clientele of the rich and famous. Now, after 4 years of renovations and the death of its legendary and beloved manager, it is set to reopen its doors at last. An esteemed group of loyal returning guests is set to descend upon the hotel, joined by a number of new faces who have managed to secure coveted bookings in the wake of last-minute cancellations. Awaiting them all is the Louis XVI's new manager, Olivier Bateau, an anxious man whose lack of experience leaves him unprepared. He and his level-headed assistant manager, Yvonne Philippe, both strive to continue the hotel's tradition of excellence. But they quickly realize that anything can happen at any moment, and on one. Billy Summers by Stephen Carey. Storyteller and #1 bestseller Stephen King, whose restless imagination is a power that cannot be contained. The New York Times Book Review, comes a thrilling new novel about a good guy in a bad job. Billy Summers is a man in a room with a gun. He's a killer for hire and the best in the business. But he'll do the job only if the target is a truly bad guy. And now Billy wants out. But first there is one last hit. Billy is among the best snipers in the world, a decorated Iraq war vet, a Houdini when it comes to vanishing after the job is done. So what could possibly go wrong? How about everything? This spectacular can't-put-it-down novel is part war story, part love letter to small-town America and the people who live there, and it features one of the most compelling and surprising duos in King fiction, who set out to avenge the crimes of an extraordinarily evil man. It's about love, luck, fate, and a complex hero with one last shot at redemption. You won't put this story down, and you won't forget Billy. Bloodless by Douglas Brust. Installment of the #1 neat best-selling series, FBI agent Pendergast faces the strangest, most challenging puzzle of his career, when bodies, drained to the last drop of blood, begin appearing in Savannah, Georgia. A fabulous heist. On the evening of November 24, 1971, D.B. Cooper hijacked Flight 305, Portland to Seattle, with a fake bomb, collected a ransom of $200,000, and then parachuted from the rear of the plane, disappearing into the night, and into history. A brutal crime steeped in legend and malevolence. 50 years later, Agent Pendergast takes on a bizarre and gruesome case, In the ghost-haunted city of Savannah, Georgia, bodies are found with no blood left in their veins, sowing panic and reviving whispered tales of the infamous Savannah Vampire. A case like no other, as the mystery rises along with the body count, Pendergast and his partner, Agent Moon, raise to